So a couple weeks ago, we got a leak suggesting that we will be seeing a multi-region remake for Pokemon. Now, this was very interesting to me because how exactly would this work? We're going to see the region of Sinnoh, Hoenn, and Kitakami. But what else? What about all the other regions? Kanto, Johto, Galar, all of those regions combined. Pokemon might have actually solved the problem of seeing every single region into one game. Now recently, for the Pokemon Legend ZA DLC trailer, we saw that Pokemon can level up past level 100 up to level 150, which is really cool and would make a lot of sense for a multi-region remake. Maybe you start all the way down to the bottom in Kanto, you get yourself your entire team, and you pretty much go on a journey like Ash's journey, where he started off in Kanto and made his way all the way up to Galar. Now this would work really well because of the fact that you can overlevel your Pokemon. So once you get to Johto, maybe there's going to be Pokemon gyms that are going to be over level 100, and then you have to move on to Hoenn and there's going to be over 150 or whatever it is, and you just keep going, and you can collect the entire Pokedex, you can collect a whole bunch of different Pokemon, and of course the Pokemon will have level scaling, so they'll level up as you progress through your adventure. So you're not just going to catch a level 1 Pokemon and then make your way all the way up. Now this would be a very interesting thing because honestly, we've always wanted to see all the regions return in Pokemon. And if Pokemon Company doesn't want to re-release these games, well, this could be the next best thing. Then you can fully explore these regions once again. And this would be the first Pokemon game with every single Pokemon inside the game. Imagine how cool that would be. You can have every single Pokemon on your team, or you can have every single Pokemon inside your box and you can carry them on. And if you wanted to switch over to one special Pokemon, well, then you can switch over to that special Pokemon. It would really make for a great experience. Now, one thing that they could do, instead of maybe reaching all the way up to level 500 eventually, is maybe once you beat the champion, those go into champion place, and then they're part of a go into champion house or something. So then it sort of resets the game, so then you're doing the next adventure to the next adventure to the next adventure. However this would work, it's either you keep your team and then you over level it all the way up to level 250, 500, whatever it is, or once you beat the game, it's kind of like you just reset and you're Ash Ketchum or whatever it is, and you just move on to the next region so the Pokemon levels don't get too out of whack. But however this is, I think it would work really well. I think a multi-region remake is honestly what Pokemon needs to stand out once again, because we've always wanted to stop cutting the national dex. The national dex, we can see that return once again. We only have about 400 Pokemon per game, and there's still a lot of different Pokemon that are missing. So in this way, you have all the Pokemon with you. You have everything that you've wanted from a Pokemon game, and you can re-experience the one-to-one regions that they once were. And this would be closer to a Ash Ketchum's journey than it ever was before, because of the fact that you're inside every single region. You have all the Pokemon that you can collect. Of course, you can go out shiny hunting to get yourself whatever shiny Pokemon that you want to. Now, will this be a fully sort of open world game, or will this be a region game sort of like the DS Pokemon games? Now, I feel like it will work in both ways. Like the DS Pokemon games, you could pretty much just experience the game as it once was. But if it was sort of like a 3D game, maybe like sort of Legends Arceus or something like that, it had a 3D environment with everything associated to that, I think that that would also work well. You can go from town to town to town. You can catch more and more Pokemon, but instead of having to encounter them in grass, you can just chuck a Pokeball right at their head and catch them. I think it would work fine, and then we can add the implementation of Pokemon Legend ZA battle style. Then this truly would be a Pokemon game that is like the anime series, closer than ever to the anime series. Like, I feel like if the Pokemon Company took the time and consideration of Pokemon Legend ZA and then mix it with Legends Arceus to have sort of like an open environment but with real-time battling, that would be closer than the anime than ever before. Then we could have implemented all of those games together. Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Legends Arceus together to make the game that is sort of like the anime. And if this was actually real, if this was going to happen, the multi-region remake would make so much sense. Either by over-leveling your Pokemon all the way up to super, super high levels, so then you can go out through your entire adventure with the Pokemon that you've caught from, like, let's just say, Pallet Town or Route 1. Whatever you want to call it, it would be super, super cool. I got myself my Weedle, and he's going to go all the way up. And maybe there's going to be special little areas that you can take those Pokemon, just like in the TV show, like Bye Bye Butterfree. Well, then you could take your Butterfree there. Maybe you're going to get a quest done or something like that, and it's going to unlock more and more. Ash's journey was definitely very vast, and a multi-region remake like this, multi-region, so we'll have every single one. So it's pretty much like you're playing the game over, but in a new light. I feel like this actually would be the best Pokemon game ever, because all the older regions are honestly the best regions. They don't feel like they're put together just like that, because why not? They feel like they're actually full of life, I would say, because honestly, it's really immersive, being able to just go from one area, catch these certain amount of Pokemon, enter a city, and then now it's a whole bunch of different Pokemon, which is really, really cool. Or you could go from this route, get yourself a super cool Pokeball, and then move over to the next route and get something else, and move over, all the way over to being able to complete the gym and gym and gym. Now the gyms, how would this work? Well, it's simple. It's just gym battles, you know? You go over maybe all the way up to Generation 7 or something, and then you make your way maybe to Galar, but overall, you just go gym after gym after gym. It unlocks more and more leveled Pokemon. It unlocks more special moves, more powerful items for you, and there you go. That would work really, really great. We can see all the original things. We can see all the original Pokemon. We can see the original ways that you used to catch shiny Pokemon, like either by going chain fishing or just going in and out of the grass multiple times. Since you would be able to see the Pokemon, maybe that would be even cooler as well, because I always like the idea of finally playing a Pokemon game that feels like the anime series. With this revelation that we got, being able to over level your Pokemon, this makes a lot of sense. They're clearly experimenting with something. So level 150, think about it. You can go Kanto, overlevel your Pokemon, get to Johto, because we know that those games work pretty well. You could have been at level 100 for the entire game. Then once you move over to Hoenn, you go over to level 150 or something. Of course, you beat Red and then go over to Hoenn. That would make sense. Then you move over to Sinnoh and you get level 200 Pokemon or whatever it is. Then you move over again to pretty much Black and White sort of air. Maybe we're going to see both regions sort of thing mixed together. And then it goes up 300, 400, etc. It keeps going up, and then you have all your Pokemon that you wanted. Makes a lot of sense, makes for a fun game, and honestly, I am really excited for this idea, because Pokemon just showed that they are willing to make the cap higher than ever, so then you can make a pretty good Pokemon game. I would say this would be the best idea for a Pokemon game. Now, also, if you look at the Mega Dimensions trailer, it's really, really interesting how this is just the same copy of Lumio City, but in a weird sort of realm, which, is very interesting. Maybe there would be a separate timeline of events on how this would be taking place. Now, I don't think that Pokemon games are necessarily connected, but if it was, a different timeline would definitely make a lot of sense for this Pokemon game. But anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think a multi-region remake with every single region would make a lot of sense because of the over-leveling system that Pokemon has introduced in Pokemon Legend ZA? Or do you think this won't make any sense? This is baloney. This is never gonna happen. I don't know. It could just happen because, hey, they just showed us we can see all the regions. Best Pokemon game ever. Job well done, everyone. Yes, it's really great. But anyways, what do you think about this? We are so close to 2,100 subscribers. Consider to hit the subscribe button. And if you like all this Pokemon Nintendo content, this is perfect for you. It's full of fun theories, exciting adventure, news, and maybe tips and tricks at some point if it's a game that I really understand. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching. Alright, so usually every single day we do a certain poll. Now yesterday, the poll was, if one of these games could get a remaster or remake, which one would it be? Now coming in at 4th place, we got Kirby Triple Deluxe with 8% of votes. Kirby Triple Deluxe definitely is an amazing game, I would say. Alright, coming in at number 3, we got Pokemon X and Y with 23% of votes. Now, of course, with the release of Pokemon Legend ZA, who doesn't want the original? Coming in at number 2, we got The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Now, of course, this is definitely an amazing game, and honestly, it might be one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games. Coming in at number 1, we got Super Mario 3D Land with 43% of votes. Now, this definitely is a great game, and honestly, this would be the last 3D Mario game that we are missing on the Nintendo Switch 1 and Switch 2, which is really awesome. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and with that being said, see you in the next one.